Jungle Inferno is out! And after 15 months in development, was it worth the wait? Yeah, maybe. Sorta. As long as the next update doesn't take this long, then sure. But if you look at this update completely independent of the time it took to make, it's probably one of the better updates this game has gotten. Let's say you've been in a coma since last year, or hey, even further back, like 2011. You wake up 6 years later, expecting flying cars and, I don't know, self-lacing shoes, but you see this update. It has 6 new maps, more than almost any other single update has had, and one of those is the first payload race map since 2011, 4 new pyro weapons, all of which either function completely differently than stock or use brand new animations, and also a heavy banana, because I don't know why not. An overhaul to both flame particles and air blast, contracts, a whole bunch of balance changes, and a billion hats. It's easy to look back and remember pre-2013 updates as being bigger than they actually were, or in some cases better than they actually were. Major updates were more frequent back in the day, and there was more new content added more often, but you know what you wouldn't have seen in 2011? A rework to Pyro's flames. That would never have even been tried. There was only even an attempt to fix a problem that's gone back to launch now, in 2017. And what about balance changes? We barely saw any of those back then. And weapons like Pyro's Moonman pack from 2011 are all very bland compared to what we got in this update. And speaking of which, how about those new weapons? The biggest game changer is probably the Dragon's Fury, Pyro's longer range projectile flamethrower placement, which some people are already calling overpowered. I'd say it's a little bit early to say that. The weapon feels very old school to me for some reason. Like this is something that Pyro could have had for a long time, if that makes any sense. Even visually, it looks like it could be a stock weapon. It's got a pretty low base damage, but deals significantly more against burning players and fires faster every time you hit someone. So it rewards accuracy and still tends to be better at close range. And Pyro's got a jetpack now, which seems like it could be a pretty huge deal, but so far, I'm a bit disappointed. At least with what I've played of it. This is still kinda, first impressions. It's fun to use, but the holster time kinda kills it. It takes 1.1 seconds to put it away, which is like a 120% slower holster time. That's a lot slower. The stats make it seem like they want you to land near enemies, but it's going to take you forever to actually get out a weapon you could damage someone with, so you'll probably just get shot. I guess I can see why it might take longer to holster, but I'd say 50% slower would probably be fine. Oh hey, a throwable gas can is a weapon, one that makes the target ignite from taking damage. What a great idea! I totally called it! A year ago! How good the gas passer actually is, or isn't, will probably become more clear once not everybody is playing Pyro. Throwing it at a control point and letting a sticky bomb just go in there and light everybody up would be pretty cool. But actually having to get close to a bunch of other Pyros with your flamethrower to try to ignite them from the gas, even though it does ignite them, it's still kind of awkward. It's probably better for letting teammates with longer range weapons take advantage of it, because, they got longer range weapons. They can ignite someone from half the map away with a bullet. But that said, why does it take a million years to recharge? And you don't even start your life with it full, and you can't get it from a resupply locker either, which is strange. That's gotta be a bug, right? Also, apparently coated enemies aren't considered wet, so it doesn't pair with the Neon Annihilator, which makes me sad. Pyro also got the Hot Hand, which is kind of a standard melee weapon, and the second banana is fairly bland, but at least Heavy got something, I guess. But man, if that thing dropped a banana peel like the one on Manhattan when you ate it, it would be so much more fun. Like if you eat your banana and then you slip on the peel to get away, it would be great. But overall, I'm liking the new weapons. Again, it's a bit early to say, but with a few tweaks, I think the thermal thruster and the gas passer could be pretty good weapons. Maybe they're a little bit lacking right now. Afterburn also got a bit of a rework. The duration of Afterburn from flamethrowers is now based on how long flames were actually hitting you, now lasting between 3 and 10 seconds instead of always being 10. Which is something I know some people have wanted for forever. But Afterburn damage has been increased from 6 per second to 8, making it potentially more deadly. Afterburn now also reduces medigun healing by 20% instead of direct damage reducing it by 25%, which was pretty buggy. I've seen something saying it actually reduces your medigun healing by 75%, but I don't think I've ever personally noticed that in game. That'd be kind of hard to tell. So hopefully this new mechanic works better. And even though flare guns still deal 60 damage through Afterburn, they now do it over the course of 7.5 seconds instead of 10, so that's a buff for all of them. And speaking of buffs and nerfs, most of what we saw in the Balance blog post from June has gone in. The Ambassador and Bonk were not nerfed as hard as originally planned, and the Cloak Drain penalty on the new version of the Yori Terminal Reward was reduced from 50% faster to 33% faster. Also, they actually completely reverted the Righteous Bison, and they re-added the longer charge duration to the Claymore. Hell must have frozen over because Valve actually went back on a bad change. When does that ever happen? It's still good though, I mean, I'm not complaining. Also, the reserve shooter was finally changed, in a way I'm not too keen on. Most of the changes in this update were pretty alright, but there's a few I don't really like. But I'll get to that at a different time. One thing I'm a little bit disappointed with is that we didn't really see any bad or mediocre weapons get buffed in a meaningful way. Except for maybe the pocket pistol and the bison, if that counts. Major buffs like that are usually the most fun part about balance changes. Seeing a bad weapon become actually worth using is fun. And the new contract system is also pretty nice. Letting you sort of pick your objective and your prizes and stuff, it's cool. And when I heard that you actually got all of your contracts up front without having to wait, I thought it'd be easy just to blow through them. But they're actually fairly challenging, which is good. And also giving free contracts for the new weapons is pretty cool, though I do kinda wish they're craftable, because getting the hot hand is gonna be kind of annoying. But it's doable, I'll get it eventually, I guess. The biggest complaints I've seen, aside from, release day waiting times and item servers being down, which happens every single major update, but the biggest complaints I've seen are more about things they didn't do. This update took a long time to make, but they still didn't do anything with competitive, not even class limits. Supposedly they're still working on stuff like that, and maybe saving it for another major update. I guess when they do it, they want to make sure that it's done right, which was probably the thought process behind Jungle Inferno, especially after the not-so-great reception of Meet Your Match. But overall, I really like the update so far. It even came out on my birthday. I've been busy upgrading my computer and reinstalling everything, and my internet has been even worse than normal the past couple days, so I haven't really been able to play quite as much as I want, but I still like it a lot. And it's brought a lot of attention back to the game. The player counts are up. I just hope that the TF2 team doesn't waste this momentum by waiting too long to release the next major update. But that's pretty much it. What are you doing still watching this? Go play the game!